So I've just got to my hotel room from the Lotus Eaters election coverage of the presidential election. Donald Trump won, clean, in the middle, no shenanigans, no dusty finishes, no screw jobs. 1, 2, 3. What have I been telling you for months? Kamala Harris is a jobber. There was no recounts, no malarkey. We got a result within the night. There were no delays. He won big. Why do you doubt me, Anon? I'm talking about you, guy in the comments, saying, oh, I'm going to come back when you've got egg on your face, eh? I'm going to bookmark this and come back to show how wrong you are. Oh, ye of little faith. So now we are going into brave new world where Donald Trump is the president. And other than register the fact that things played out as I called them based on just reading the news, i.e. that some element of the regime wanted Trump with minimal protest, and no question really that the result is illegitimate. The mainstream media all called it. New York Times, MSNBC, BBC, AP, they all called it quick. So clearly they've made some sort of peace with this. I don't think we're going to be seeing many kind of big riots or anything like that. I just don't think the left are in the mood for it. They seem kind of tired and worn out. That's the impression I get, deflated from the jobbers campaign, the demoralization Kamala Harris campaign. So the left are just in a state of demoralization at the moment. So what is Trump going to do with this moment when he actually becomes the president come January? And that is an interesting question to ask, and one we will ponder and will be fun to think about in the coming weeks and months. I mean, I have said that, all of my predictions so far, admit it, it played out exactly as I said it would. We've still got a few to go. Ukraine and Joe Biden being stuck. Joe Biden, they're going to stick him down a sinkhole, down the memory hole, wrap him up with Ukraine, and Ukraine's going to be history. That is the next thing that's going to happen. Doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. I mean, I called it a lot earlier than most people, but most people are saying that is going to happen now. Does leave the big question of the Middle East, of course. And on this, I don't know if Trump is going to give Israel a kind of blank check to do whatever they want. Trump has said a number of times that he expects Netanyahu to wrap this up by January, i.e., I want it to be done and dusted by the time I am president. And he's repeated that a number of times. So then we get to the other parts that I have predicted. The woke will be put away. I mean, Harris in the middle, 1, 2, 3. I expect my cigar soon, McIntyre. Okay. But, clearly there's going to be some soul searching on the left. We got this wrong. We need to reconnect with the normal Americans. We've lost our way and all of that. That process will start on the left. You guys don't believe it, but they will do that. And they will do that because, for reasons, let's just say. They don't really want the left in this kind of ardently pro-Palestinian mode that they're in at the moment, for example. You could argue that cost Harris some votes, arguably. I actually just think it was straight up because she had no actual support from the machinery of the regime. I mean, it was clear some rogue elements were thinking about monarchy. We saw ballots trickling in Pennsylvania towards the end, but they called it immediately. It's like Vince came in, ring the bell. It's over. The result is in. Trump has won. So that they really did give us a very clean win and a decisive Trump victory. No question. And he won the popular vote as well. Popular vote. So he's going to have a huge mandate to do a lot, to make a lot of changes, and it's going to be Trump's America. And the regime and the media are not going to be able to go through the next 4 years as they've gone through the past 8 years. I don't expect them to be calling him a fascist and Hitler every single week now. I think they're just going to quickly make peace with the fact that they need to change, basically, realign so there's more moral unity between the elites and the people. Um, so yeah, I mean, I fully expect woke to be put away, just as I called every aspect of this election correctly. I don't know why you should doubt me on that one. Um, and for white boys to die in their wars, that's got more of a question mark on it because I struggle to see Trump being the man to start a conflict with Iran. It just doesn't seem to be in his character, especially as he keeps on repeating this line. So we could actually see some interesting friction between Trump and Israel. I talked about this on the final Lotus Eaters panel, if anybody watched it, but I'm just reiterating some of those points. And if Netanyahu defies Trump as he defied Biden, we could actually start to see friction because the coalition, the elite coalition behind Trump this time, was actually an alliance between, let's call them based billionaires like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and people like that, and Zionists, people like Ben Shapiro, for example, who threw his weight behind Trump this time. And we could see an interesting rift on that score if Netanyahu continues in this very kind of defiant mode that he's been in. Whether he'll be like that with Trump remains to be seen, because looking at things at the ground, I very much doubt he's going to be able to wrap things up by January. Ukraine, forget about it. Sorry, Zelensky, you're yesterday's man, mate. So those are the foreign policy bits. On the domestic front, it will certainly be interesting to see how much power Elon Musk is given to take a sledgehammer to the administrative permanent bureaucracy. And hopefully, I mean, I say hopefully, kind of this needs to happen for America to remain competitive and competent and legitimate, in its position in the world. Maybe Trump and his team of Avengers will actually help make America more efficient, fix some parts of the system that are currently broken. And I don't really see any barriers to that happening, really, beyond Trump's will and putting the right people in the positions. The person who interests me most, actually, is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Because if you listen to him talk before he joined the Trump campaign, like in his own campaign, he was pretty hardcore against like big pharma and certain kind of massive corporations and their corruption of the American system and of healthcare and things like that. It'd be very interesting to see if Kennedy is actually able to take those on. Having the Senate helps. Whether he'll take Congress or not is still unknown as I'm recording this. But if we have a full Republican sweep, Trump may actually be empowered to make some real changes. No reason to be not optimistic on the domestic front. And if I was American, I'd be looking for Trump to do that. But the worst thing that any of us can do, and especially if you're, in America, is think, well, the job's done now. It's time to go back to grill, or play video games, or um, watch Netflix, or you're back to your favorite sports. You can leave politics behind because Trump has won and the job is done. Far from it, especially given the Republicans are such snakes, almost as bad as the Tory party here. You have to be vigilant and constantly hold their feet to the fire and try to push Trump always in the more base direction, because there are always worms and snakes in and around them. Also, it'll be interesting to see if we get the Robert Barnes world, where people like Tulsi Gabbard are given key jobs, or if we get the Ben Shapiro world, where it's Mike Pompeo and swamp creatures. Um, Opinions vary, but that will be something that we'll all be keeping our eye on coming up. But anyway, just a short video before I finally hit the sack and pass out for 10 hours because I've had a pretty long shift. But who are you to doubt El Dandy, eh? Now get out.